with the advent of the internet, we've seen a huge rise in kind of narcissism, really, in the world, and an energy of like being more, like more likes, more followers, more selfies, whatever it is. We've kind of seen this kind of rise, really, and I've always thought that it doesn't show. We're giving a real false perspective to what's really happening in the world, and in terms of like leaders, that kind of thing, people that with intelligence, that kind of thing. And just because you speak and have a voice, doesn't mean to say that you are more clever than anybody else. I was a teacher, and if you know, I taught for like 35 years in teaching, and then I've coached thousands of people around the world and written a book now called Remember Who You Truly Are. That's on Amazon and on Smashwords too, and on Kindle. But all my life I've been an observer, really, of the human spirit, and a lot, with a lot of psychology as well. I've also worked as a therapist with EFT and done soul plan readings. I trained in science, but I have an intuitive ability and kind of like a psychic ability, really, which psychic actually means just soul, really, just like intuition. So when I coach people, I'm really coming from my intuition around things rather than my mind and anything being really prescripted. But coming back to what I was saying about the internet, this kind of rise of like narcissism, it's meant that the bigger anything has kind of had kudos, whereas actually we're coming into a time now where kind of less is much more as well. So you might find that in this time space at the moment that you're actually kind of giving away things, or you're letting go of things, you're letting go of attachments, and even in terms of relationships or people around you, that you might this human life journey is a journey, it's an evolution, really, and it's a journey of experiences that you have, really. So you learn and grow through everything you do, all the people you meet, all the things, places you go, the energy that you interact with, nature, that kind of thing. And but I really feel that we are almost like letting go. So it's, you only have pain, really, when you get attached to things. You get it when you get attached to like outcomes of how you think things should turn out. And that's what we're seeing being played out at the moment, is that this fear has kind of gone in to people. If you're not attached to things, then you don't have a thought that it should go a certain way, and you live much more in the moment, and you kind of go more with the flow. It's a very different way of living, but actually it gives you less stress because you don't plan everything. And through my life, I've always been like this. Much happier when I kind of go with the flow. I hate planning things, and you literally show up kind of in the moment much more, really. It's a very different way of living and being. But for me, it brings a lot more happiness. And I think you're going to find that if you are very intuitive, you're very sensitive, that you might find that you're living a lot more kind of like not attached to how things might work out. It's also quite exciting because you don't plan a day and you get up, and then, like, I go out to the coffee shop and I don't know who I'm going to talk to. I had a lovely conversation with an artist today, and then with her, sorry, with him, artist, the couple basically, and they weren't married anymore, but she was very logical, that kind of thing as well, and so, but they'd split, but they remained friends, and it was really lovely to have a real just conversation like that as well today. I'm often go in and talk to the children and the parents with mothers with children, because I was a teacher and I can offer a bit of help or guidance with behaviour, that kind of thing. And like with this other woman, I was helping her with her teenage daughter, that kind of thing. So I don't know, but it's so you never know really in life who you're going to meet, where you're going to go, what you're going to say, and but again, coming back to, so less planning, less, you have less stress really as well sometimes. all right, we all need to do things and sort things out a certain way. But so I just kind of giving you that today was just sometimes, less is more. Start chucking things away. Don't need to hold on to stuff. When you hold on to stuff, it kind of snags you. It's very much sort of feng shui kind of principle too. I was even saying that today. Someone that I grew up with, a mother who, had clothes for like 50 years. And actually, I was really lucky because she only grew up with so many pairs of shoes, so many handbags, that kind of thing. Not like your 50 handbags and your 50 pairs of shoes and that kind of stuff. And she would keep clothes, and she would really almost like iron things, that kind of thing. All right, she was in her 90s when she passed, 92, but she revered the little things, and she things are very precious to her. And maybe we need to come back to that, really. And I think we're going into that kind of phase where less will be more again. No big car or no big house makes you any more special than the next person. And personally, I believe we're all equal. We all have to eat. We all have to go to the loo. We all have to do certain things every day. And I don't see anyone more above another. I've never have in all the schools I taught and all the people I've coached. And I think people are happier like that. If you look to nature, it doesn't really have a real kind of it doesn't store up loads of stuff, does it? Nature, animals don't store up great big things. All right, there might be mounds and ant mounds and that kind of thing, but you don't see gluttony in nature. You don't see greed and power. All right, you might see hierarchy, that kind of thing, strength with animals and things, but you don't see this kind of quest for power. Nature lives in symbiosis to everything else, and has enough but doesn't have too much. And I think we are going to come back to that. I hope and pray in my lifetime we will come back to much more of that kind of living. So less is more. I hope that helps someone today. Lots of love. Bye for now.